Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Jackson County Board of Supervisors meeting for Tuesday, December 22nd. That leaves 3 shopping days left for me. 2020, what, 2?
Christmas Day, the stores aren't open. 23rd, 24th.
More pressure, Mike. More
2
pressure.
days.
Yeah,
2 days. I was talking more referencing you guys buying for me. That's what I was referencing. Okay. With us today, with that being said, with us today, we have Luann back in the back room here, in the back of the room, our executive assistant. And we have Jeannie and Kelly is on the line, and Jess is on the line, and the radio station is on the line, and Karen from the city looks like to be on with us today. And welcome everyone, and happy holidays to you. And we have Lisa, our county auditor, here with us, taking notes today and joining. Larry McDevitt, Jack Willie, and myself, Mike Steinis, are your county supervisors. First on our agenda today is Mr. David Dreyer, our Jackson County engineer.
Good morning.
Good morning, David. Yep.
Yes,
You're right in front of that camera so they can see you. Good morning.
Good morning. Got several items for you today. Item number 1 is possible action with the Iowa DOT agreement to plow Cage Road through the Park property. They paid $2,000 per lane mile. This is the segment here that we would be plowing for them to the Park property. And the estimate revenue for the work undertaken is about $14.48, a little more than half a mile.
So they pay that annually? Is that what that is? Okay.
That would be the-
All right. And this is nothing different that we have been doing.
Yeah, we've been doing it for years and years and years.
No, I think that's only.
I move approval of the agreement and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Iowa DOT agreement with the Caved Road Maintenance Plowing Agreement. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
The second item is the replacement of the down 188th Street Bridge. It's a surface transportation block grant swap project. Estimated construction is $604,000. It's slated for a March wet. Expected start date July or August. This is the approval of the plans. Need 2 of the 3 county board supervisors to sign. And it is here before you today. I don't know if you have any questions concerning that one.
Did we have an original estimate on that bridge when it first went down? No.
I don't think so. We were waiting for IIW to come back with some kind of.
But you said 604.
604,000.
Yes.
Sounds high.
It's
really
That's
high.
not,
It's
yeah.
a high bridge.
It is a high bridge and it's longer than you think. Yeah. I mean, and who come up with that estimate?
We came up with the 604,000 estimate. We're hoping that it'll come under that.
Yeah. Okay.
So are we.
Yes.
Schneider is sitting in that seat. We've already worked with you for a while, so we're comfortable with your data. And also too, because we work in all these other counties and communities, is that we already know what deadlines there are for the state from a GIS point of view. Our lead person for staff augmentation, his name is Jeff Lewis. He actually sits on one of the boards related to the Iowa 911. I don't know what the technical term was, but I know he's heavily involved with the Iowa 911. That's his passion. That's what he's involved with. So he would actually act as a Jackson County employee, working with GeoCom in the state of Iowa, making sure everything is submitted. As an example, not only that, if you need us to attend a meeting, also this from an assessor's office point of view, the soils need to be updated in 2021. And that would be taken care of as well under the staff augmentation umbrella. The point is, it's meant to be flexible and it's meant to be catered to Jackson County's needs. If you have someone in the engineering office that just needs a map made for a public meeting, that is something that you could send an email to Jeff, and then Jeff and his team would actually work on that map for you. Let's say it takes you an hour, then he would just kind of charge that 1 hour of work to that project as an example. And everything is very detailed in terms of how those hours are being used. I always jokingly say we do not charge you for coffee breaks or anything like that. It's strictly work. So the actual project, and that also means too that we can have multiple people working for Jackson County at the same time. So if one person's working on 911, another one's working on that secondary roads map, those can both be used from that pot of hours. The other thing I want to point out to you as supervisors is that this is a flexible thing. This doesn't have to be a long-term commitment. Some will just use this for 3 to 6 months, as we are kind of like that bridge between maybe going from one GIS person to another GIS person, and we can help you out along that way, whether it means helping you hire someone new, sitting in on the interview, whatever you need. So I just don't want you to think of it as it doesn't have to be a long-term commitment. It can be, like I said, as short as 3 months, it can be 6 months, whatever you, the Board of Supervisors, feel comfortable with. That's my elevator pitch.
Okay, so I see
No, yeah.
Jess and
Jeannie and.
Janie and Larry. I
Mhm.
guess that's Buck. Do you have questions or concerns or comments for Ryan? I can hear you through the wall, but you got your muted, Larry.
As they're figuring out the audio, Mike, I was going to say, add to that, Jess got a free preview of staff augmentation last week.
Buck, you're still muted if you can hear me.
Are they yelling through the wall?
Yeah, well, I can hear him on the other side of the wall, but I think he's yelling at his staff. I'm not sure. Oh, they're coming in.
Our computers don't have microphones or cameras on them, so.
Well, I can hear Buck through the wall, but I go.
Take a seat.
How's it going, guys?
Hi.
So as you heard Ryan's spiel there, his sales pitch, but I'm sure we have questions, and I guess I have a question about having a warm body in place, for somebody who walks in or wants to. I mean, I'm unaware of really what the whole job entails. I guess that's my problem. I don't know about the mapping, what people needs or,
We
Hey,
don't
Mike.
know either because we don't really do that job. But I think we do need somebody to be able to help us out now. And even, if it's just in lieu of, ideally, we would be planning to hire somebody in the future, is my opinion. But in the meantime, we could use some help. I sat with Jeff Lewis and he went through and got our 911 stuff submitted, but we knew it wouldn't pass because there was changes to the data that were needed and
restrictions, new qualifications. And,
yeah, and there was no one that had done them, so we just uploaded it just to show that we weren't completely ignoring it, and with plans to hopefully get that information up to date for the next time that it should transfer.
Is that in July 1st?
Yeah, I think sometime between January and June. It's supposed to be
June
transferred
30th
sometime
officially.
between July
June
and
30th,
December.
Ryan?
Yeah, it's pretty much, sorry, Jess, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's pretty much every 6 months you need to submit the data, and there are well-established standards. Where Jackson County got caught was that the timing of when your GIS person left, I don't think anything was done between those 3 months. And by the time we realized what was going on, it was too late to get the work done and submit it. So Jeff has actually already made a point of saying that, if Jackson County decides to go this route, that he'll be working on it right away in January, just to get it.
How much time will that take?
I hate those kind of questions. The I'm going to
We
be wrong.
don't have an open-end contract here.
The answer is, the honest answer is we don't know how much work needs to be done because we need to look at it. Jeff needs to do look at it, and he'll probably work with Jess on that. It can be a couple hours of work. It can be 10 hours of work. What you need to know though as a board and auditors, Jeff will look at it and then get back to me and say, hey, here's how many hours I think it'll take to get it done. So I'll communicate that back to you.
Well, that's fair. I mean, you need to,
Yeah, he wouldn't have any
Look at
idea
it.
what our,
Well-
like right now.
Yeah, as I understand it, though, the requirements had changed during that time frame also. So it wasn't like something that was done in the past that we could copy it. The restriction
No,
that,
there was additions that needed to be added to our data. and
Right.
None of them were added.
right.
The idea is from the state point of view, they're trying to do the stair step thing where every 6 months you get $6,000 if you hit this standard. So but every standard is slightly higher every 6 months. So the idea is to kind of get, just a nice slow improvement. And that also includes the Jess, what is it? Is it the ALI database, and what's the other one? Is it MSAG?
Yeah,
So that's all included as well. So there's a few different mapping layers related to meeting those 911 standards.
yeah.
So Ryan, is that something that we have to send to you, or do you pick that information up from where?
I'll let Jess answer that.
What needs to be done from our side to you?
You want me to take that one, Jess?
Well, I didn't know if in general, do you just log into our system when you're, into our GIS when you're doing this stuff, or?
There's two different answers. It sounds like you have a GIS computer. Does that sound right? Am I saying
Yeah,
that right?
We have 2 licenses right now.
So with that being said, what we would probably do, we'll have to see, check connections and everything. What we'd probably do is we'd just log into that computer, and we can actually do the work virtually, kind of like how we're having this meeting through that computer. The other option is if there's any lagging, we would just get a copy of that and work on it on our local machine and then submit it on behalf of Jackson County. We've already, like I said, Jeffrey took some time to work with Jess last week, and working with everything from getting everything submitted to the portal and everything else. So I think that answers that question.
Well, it's obviously something we're gonna need to do.
Mhm.
And
Well, we need to stay
Yeah.
compliant, of
And at
course.
least a good temporary.
And I,
turnout, yeah.
Not a permanent, I wouldn't think.
I mean, like I said, we have a body here, and I don't know what the whole scope of the GIS coordinator was. That was before me, so I don't know how that come about, or what the job title or what the job description said through all that. But we certainly need support at this time. So
Mike, I want to comment on that as well, or add to that. You said something about just like having a person there at the site on site earlier. In normal times, part of staff augmentation is we are actually there on site, usually once or twice a month. I just want to point that out. But right now, currently, everything is done remotely. I just want to make sure, and so it doesn't have to be remote only. Some counties choose to do remote only, and some choose to do in person, because there's just things that need to be done where you need to have a body there. I'm trying to think how to, I guess what I'm saying is it's meant to be flexible long term.
sure. Well,
You can
most of
still-
the world's running remotely right now. So
And you can still
Right.
get it done.
Yep. Hey, if we can do a supervisor meeting on Zoom, we can do anything, right?
well, I mean, technology the way it is today, it's pretty obvious that we can operate. Yeah. So
Now, if there's things that we want to be able to do on our own, is that considered in the same, is that counted against that same time? Or like right now, I think there's some training included in our current.
Oh, in your in your support package?
Yeah. Or is
That actually, I need to double check and make sure and see what support package you have. I believe you have what we call like our basic, which is just where you can call and email us right now for little odds and ends. If a table's not joining or something. That actually is that, and that's what I stress in that email, gentlemen, is that that's where you need, when you're looking at there's the total cost, but then you need to actually look at the net. So that staff augmentation contract will consume the current support contract that Schneider and Jackson County have.
Okay, so I don't know what that contract says, like you said, but it's interesting to say that we have some training,
I don't know for
Yeah,
sure exactly what
yeah.
we have, but I just know I've
but
called them and they've helped me.
but the current contract would fall into the new one, if per se, if we went that way,
Correct.
the cost anyway. Molly, you can talk too, you know.
Just smile.
No, I
I'm
mean,
just
it's
here to
all-
learn.
It's all good conversation to get it out here in front so we know where we're at. And like I said, I mean, it's easy enough for us to contact Delaware County and see how it's working out for them, you know, but we appreciate that, you know.
I believe I put down Jasper County too as a reference. If you do need more, those are the two I was just thinking of that I know would be, just from talking to Lisa, I thought would be good ones to contact if you had any questions.
So how soon could you start if we decide to do this contract?
I don't want to sound too salesy here. My intention was to present you with an agreement starting January 1st. I mean, if you needed something done tomorrow, of course we would take care of you. But my intention was to talk to you today and present this idea and see if you were interested. And then I would probably coordinate with Lisa and then send her an agreement. And I believe do you have one more board meeting before the end of the year?
Excuse me.
What's up? What's so funny?
Somebody's dancing next door or something. I don't know. Somebody needs help. The Beatles are on.
We gotta take a break.
I'm in the middle of trying to close the deal and then I get, all right.
Beatles song, I need
With
help.
help.
It was help.
It was help.
Yeah,
Help, I need
I need
somebody.
somebody.
Yeah.
Help.
Not just anybody.
that's right.
But I'll hit the reset button here really quick. My intent was to present the board with an agreement starting January 1st.
Okay, so I guess my thought is that we need to have some dialogue here between offices to have some conversation. We would, like I said, we're limited to what the job entails as supervisors. So we were going to take a recommendation from our employees that need to work with it. So we're going to give them some time to discuss it, what they need, and their recommendation, and we can have it on next Tuesday's meeting for either approval, and then we could probably possibly start by early January.
I know with the holidays, is that possible, Ryan, to present a contract next Tuesday?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. It's it's a tough time of year.
Well, tomorrow's the 23rd, you know, so then 24th is on, so
Well, that's what I'm saying with the holiday. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not off on holiday and I'm the one that'll make the contract, so we'll get it.
Oh, okay, well,
Okay.
he didn't say that.
Contract for a period of time or?
Good question. I would recommend minimum 3 months. But I mean, just because the way fiscal year works, I don't know if it's something that you need to do till June 30th. I mean, I don't know what your budget situation is with personnel. So I don't want to speak for that, but I would recommend minimum 3 months.
I would like to see 3 months and then revisit it to make any changes that we need to.
Well, I think we
Well,
have to make sure we get through the process.
Well,
So you get your.
Yeah, we have other things that we have to consider also. But what I'm really interested in is in the email that you sent, you said there was training included in that. So if,
Yes.
if we would come with a hire, that, how much training would they get in that 3-month period? Or does it take longer than that? Time frame, I guess, I don't know. Depends on how much background they have in, what we're doing here.
I'll give you a real life example. Right now in Marion County, Iowa, Knoxville, we are doing the same exact thing where we served as we're doing staff aug, just like what I'm talking to you about today. And then they did hire a new GIS person. And so that overlap is going on right now, where there's about a 2-3 month overlap where it's kind of like, here's all your stuff. Let me show you where everything's at in terms of just where the data is located. And then not only that, this person's actually from out of state. So we're also educating her as well on, here's all your deadlines, and here's a normal parcel maintenance schedule that is very typical in Iowa, and so, et cetera, so forth.
Right.
Okay.
Makes sense. So then even after the 3 or 6, bless you, even after the 3 or 6 month period, we would still have, probably go back to the original contract and have maybe some kind of, like the current
Support.
contract you have now, support, as far as support.
Yeah, we definitely need support.
I really, Mike, I really want to stress, like the intent of this is to be flexible for you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions for Ryan or Molly? Do you have questions for us? Comment, criticism?
I do have one more question actually, and I forgot if I addressed it with Jess, just because I've got you here. Parcel maintenance, is that something that Heather did? Or is that something the county, who does it at the county?
Are you saying as far as updating the Beacon website or?
Splits and combines in GIS.
Well, she did it originally for us, like in a draft layer, and then, but Janelle in my office has always done the splits.
I would like to not answer that and you call me.
Who said that?
I would like to not answer that question, but you call me and we'll talk about it.
Could be a lengthy discussion.
All right, I guess I went too far there. Okay. I'll shut up. Any questions?
Anything else?
Well, we sure appreciate your explanation and your time, and certainly we're going to be in touch one way or the other.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Give me a call, Ryan.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good holiday.
Have a safe holiday, everyone.
Yeah,
Yep.
you too. Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Okay. You guys okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, I know there's some discussions gotta happen.
Well, yeah, between your offices there,
Yeah,
what you
so-
need and what you.
Some job description, I was here when Heather was hired, but I don't remember what
Yeah.
the exact
And maybe that's something we can get from them too, as a description of,
things that have.
or an outline of what needs to be done. So
Well,
we do
things
have a
have,
job description.
things have definitely changed since then too, 5 years ago, whatever it was. Okay,
Thanks.
appreciate it. Yep, have a good holiday, good
And
Christmas.
I just want to put a plug in for Jess, since she's my employee. She's been putting a lot of extra time in on this, besides keeping up with all her other stuff, but that's kind of how it works when one person's down, the
Certainly
other one
is.
helps pick them up. So I did want to put a plug in for her, because she understands this stuff the best of anybody in our office. She's working, I'm sure she'll work with Lisa and we'll get something figured out. So Merry Christmas. to
Yep.
all.
Christmas to you.
Appreciate that, Jess. Thanks. Have a good holiday. Okay, let's flip back over. Where do we have more work sessions? I guess, is there any other unfinished business for the board meeting this morning?
I would move we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Happy holiday. Merry Christmas to everyone. Stay safe and healthy.